So jury awards Hannah Boving $18 million for Wall Street CEO Benjamin Way's sexual harassment. It's 2015, yet women still seem to be apprehensive about coming forward with sexual harassment complaints. Why do you think that is?
Well, it's certainly not because it doesn't happen, because women are sexually harassed in the workplace at an alarming frequency. But it's difficult because if you report that somebody you work with has sexually harassed you, you're going to alienate that person. And a lot of times the woman just wants the harassment to stop. She doesn't want to create enemies in the workplace. And she certainly doesn't want to be retaliated against. And then she's going to worry about, well, what do the other women think? Why did they complain? If it's so bad, nobody else is going to complain, and people are going to think that there's something wrong with me. And it's a man's world, and a lot of times women think that if they report sexual harassment, they're going to stay right where they are. They're never going to get promoted. The word's going to be out that they're troublemakers, and it's going to hurt their career, so they don't report it.
Despite it seems that I wouldn't say the damages, or what do you call it when the amount that the women usually get in these cases?
Jurors in general do not like sexual harassment.
So the jury tends to favor the woman, right?
Correct, and they tend to favor the women because it's easy to understand sexual harassment, and most jurors are going to be female. It's going to be impossible to kick off all of the females. It's going to be impossible to even kick off most of the females. Most of the time, if a plaintiff's attorney is careful, he's going to have a jury that's comprised of at least half females, probably more. And they don't like sexual harassment. It's easy to understand, and they will award big damages if they think the harassment is particularly outrageous.
So talk about that study that you read about women talking about the idea or the act of sexual harassment, in theory, or and actually taking action and doing something about it.
Well, conceptually, women are going to say, I'm not tolerating sexual harassment. This is the new millennium, and we don't do that. If I get sexually harassed, I'm going to stop it. I might even slap the guy, but I definitely will report it. That's what the vast majority of women will tell you.
Right.
However, when the sexual harassment actually happens to them, very few actually report it. Probably less than 30% actually report it for the reasons that we just talked about. It could be a career ender. You could be ostracized by your fellow employees, and most of all, you could be retaliated against by your employer in subtle ways, in small ways, and sometimes in large ways. So, for a lot of women, it's not worth it. There are people who won't take it, and there are people who will stand up, but they're still in the minority.
So there seems to be the initial livelihood risk when thinking about, complaining or letting people know what happened. But you're saying that the jury is usually very sympathetic toward the woman. So is this awarding the woman damages, is that the exception or the rule? Like what are the average women supposed to think when they're on the fence or they're thinking about it? Like, what are the chances on this working out in their benefit?
Well, it takes a lot of courage to stand up and report sexual harassment, and it takes even more courage to actually go through with a lawsuit. So it's difficult, but if you do stand up and you are right and you do have the courage to go through with a lawsuit, 9 times out of 10 the jury is going to side with you, particularly if the sexual harassment is severe and pervasive. They don't like it. Jurors just do not like it.
And tell the people what your website is and how they can contact you.
We do quite a bit of sexual harassment cases. It is a problem in today's society, and people can contact us at the Civil Rights Justice Center. We will listen to their complaints. And one of the things that we also do is that if you're in the middle of a situation and you're not sure what to do, we'll give you advice on what you should be doing, how to document sexual harassment, and most of all, follow your employer's guidelines for reporting sexual harassment, because the employer is going to say, look, we had this system set up for you. You could have reported to Human Resources and you did nothing. Or all you did was complain to your friends, which is not the guidelines that we provide. And you want to make sure that you are reporting it, you are utilizing the guidelines, and you also want to make sure that you get a promise from the Human Resources person that, if at all possible, this will be kept confidential, so that the person doing the harassing may not know you complained, and definitely your coworkers will not know that you complained, so that at least it gives you some protection.